What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube Barber Academy. Mr. Eddie Barber in the house, and today we're going to tackle one of the most difficult haircuts for many of you barbers. So I just want to get right into it because this is like I have this little setup going. I'm actually a little bit further away from the camera than usual, but I want to get some of this stuff out of here. So I'm going to get to the tutorial like right away. We're going to start cutting here in just a second. I just want to go over some fundamentals before we do. Now, I want this class on this to sort of be thought of as an extension into phase two. And phase two is clipper over comb. And when we do the phase two, we're going to use clipper over comb. But one of the best ways for you to improve your clipper over comb skills is by practicing flat tops. Now, let's just talk about this psychologically for a second. Why flat tops are difficult or perceived as difficult by most of you guys. What up, Uproar Warrior? What up, Cali Barber? What up, Manny? What up, everybody? Good to see you all. Thank you guys for joining the room. Steve, I'm gonna need somebody when I do this tutorial. I wanna need somebody to join in the room with me to read the comments to me and to stop me when I'm like maybe skipping over somebody's question, because my thought is maybe I could have Steve on here and he can kind of hang with me while I do the tutorial, and he could read your questions so that if you guys have any questions or whatever, hopefully I teach you so good you don't even need no questions. You don't got no problems. But yeah, and if Steve don't want to do it, I can get one of you guys. Anybody can come on the show tonight. It's gonna be good. Oh, and the talent contest. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys have now submitted. I need to do that tonight. I literally been working since 5 a.m. We're at the shop setting records. All right. So barbering is just absolutely booming. I mean, I kid you not. We're just killing them. So for any of you guys in the drought, any of you guys in the cut, any of you guys like, worried about what your financial future is if you continue with barbering, yo, have no fear. Have no fear. If you do good business will come back to you, and you guys will make some money. All right. So I got the YouTube Barber Academy. This is the old logo, by the way. This is an old shirt. But I ran home, took a shower, got the hair off me. Now I'm about to get some more hair on me. I've been cutting since 5 a.m., and I literally got out almost an hour and a half late. I got home at 4:30, put all this together, and literally sat here. I finished a small cup of coffee, hit start. So we're in here for that grind, and I want to talk to you guys about the talent show for a second. I've had a lot of you guys enter, which is dope. And if you haven't received an email back from me, don't really trip yet, because I know it's been like 2 days since I checked, and I got a whole bunch. So I'm going to go through once I close this out. I'm going to take all your videos. I'm going to download them. If I have any issues, I'm going to send you a message and let you know, hey, I got it, or hey, I need you to send it again. Okay, please, no haircut videos, no shop promo videos, no videos that you shot like 6 years ago, none of that. Just something new, something fresh. And you guys actually have until next weekend. We're gonna unveil. Thank you, Nigel, I appreciate that. Next weekend we're gonna go through some of the talent show entries. So I'm gonna show everybody's talent show entry, and again, the prizes are gonna be big. We're gonna have some fun with that. So with that being said, now let's get back to the flat top, and I'm gonna put a link in the description here for if one of you guys would like to join, or if Steve, I don't know if you got a minute, if you can join, if you want to be in the show tonight, because my thoughts are I would like to have somebody here with me to just stop me if somebody asks questions and just read me what some of the comments are, so I could just focus on the cut and focus on the talk. So let's start with that. I'm gonna put this in here. Bing. Anybody who wants to join, if not Steve, hop on in. I can beep you in the room. So let's talk about this for a second. All right. This is a mannequin, and one of the things you want to analyze before you do any flat top on any client. All right, you want to analyze the growth pattern. Now, I should be using a blow dryer. I always use a blow dryer in the shop when I do this, because I need to get this hair to stand up the best that I can. I will not be using no blow dryer in this little closet that I'm doing this out of in my house, because number one, it's going to get so hot I won't even be able to breathe. Number two, it's going to blow hair all over my computer. So I will sacrifice a small bit of quality and forego that step. However, what I want you guys to do is analyze the growth pattern, and that's going to determine which way that we lift up the hair. So we're going to be doing this with clipper over comb. Obviously, if this hair is going back like this and I try to lift it up from this side, it's not going to lift up quite as easy as if I go against the grain. Now we can see how long that hair is, and I'm going to go against the grain. So in this case, I'm going to begin from the back and working my way forward. Now, if you got a client who's got hair like me, which is going practically bald, and but my growth pattern is falling forward, well, that means you're just going to lift it up against the grain, and you're going to begin from, say, the front, skip the bangs, and move yourself back little by little. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's talk about the clipper over comb for a second. Let me grab my weapons of choice. Got the Gamma Eps. This is the Gamma Alpha. Starting to get confused. I got so many different Gammas here. And I really like to use any clipper comb, okay? So here's your clipper comb, and one of the techniques we're going to use in the pinky, and when we go to touch the comb, we need to treat it really gently. So you never really want to bang this comb. You don't really want to hit this too hard. I got Steve up in here. Let's add him in here to the left. Yo, what up, Steve? Is the audio working?
Yo.
100%. He's
yeah,
good.
I can hear you.
Perfect, man. So yeah, what I was thinking, I'm sure you heard me, but I was just kind of thinking that if I blast through this tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you in the room, but I might take you off the screen so that they can see the flat top tutorial. But you just kind of check out the comments, and if anybody's asking any questions, just stop me and ask me real quick so that I can answer them like right as we go. That way I could have my mind on one thing. I've done a couple tutorials like this where we were live, and it was actually, this was a long time ago, but I actually had somebody holding the phone reading all the comments while I was doing the haircut, and I felt like that was a really good tutorial for people who they asked questions I didn't even think to talk about, you know? So please ask your questions. So what I was talking about basically is the way that we're going to hold our comb and the way that we're going to touch our clipper. All right, so there's basically a few different holds here. This is the handshake grip. This is good for cutting on the sides. This is what we're going to use, but we're going to use this clipper position. It's like the pencil grip, but they actually, I believe they call it clipper position number 4 in the book, but it's just like you held it in a pencil, all right? And when we come up to the top of this, we're going to be using this grip, all right? Another grip that you can use if your hands are a little shaky too, you can use this grip here. I used to call this one like the Jason or whatever, you know, but so this is the other clipper grip that you're going to use. If your hands are a little bit shaky, this is definitely going to be a little more steady because it takes it out of your fingers and it puts it into your wrist and into your hands. So now I know you want to talk shit about them Bills, Pat Green. All right, let's talk about them Bills real quick. The Bills are going to go heads up against the Chiefs this weekend. This Monday.
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Sorry.
Okay,
He's got an audience over there. It's all good. What's up,
my
buddy?
little lads here.
What's up, buddy? So the Chiefs are going to go against the Bills, and I really hope the Bills are going to hand them an L. I really, really hope that we do. It hurt me deeply to lose to Tennessee, but it is what it is. I'm still a Bills fan. But, you know, I hope we hand our first L to them garbage-ass Chiefs that are actually the greatest team in the league probably. So, anyways, let's get back to it. So we're going to lift it up against the grain. We're going to be very careful when we touch our clipper down. This is one of the more important keys of the flat top. A lot of people, they'll come in kind of hot, right, and they'll hit this comb, and that's the same thing when we're using this for clipper over comb. Like when I'm doing clipper over comb on the side, I'm rolling the comb out and I'm lifting, all right. And it's very possible that you guys are doing this right, and you don't feel comfortable yet, and that's something that happens to all of us. We get in there. We start doing it, and you might even have a teacher or somebody comes by you, and they're like, bro, you're doing it exactly right. That's exactly what you should be doing, but you just don't feel comfortable. You don't feel the confidence yet. That's perfectly normal. It takes some heads. It takes some time to just knock out some heads, and then once you do, you're going to get more confidence, and you're gonna get it going. So, all right, you guys ready? Let's knock it out. Let's get this other one set up. I'm going to keep you in here. I'm just going to take you off of the screen, I think. Go ahead and say something. I'm going to make sure if they can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Okay, so
Roger
Steve's on standby, and I'm going to flip to this other camera number 2. Someday I'm going to have me a really nice – wrong camera. Someday I'm going to have me a really nice setup in here, I swear. and I'm going to have a whole room for doing these tutorials. And that day is hopefully sooner than later. Okay, I got a couple factors going against me, and I'm just going to tell you about them too. On top of the fact that I don't plan on blow drying this, my camera is a little crooked, and I don't have a mirror to do this in. So I'm going to do this. I'm kind of using you guys as the mirror, and I won't also be able to spin the client either. So I definitely got a lot of stuff going for me that's not great. Another thing you're going to use is you're just going to use any type of pomade, all right? I'm not going to put that in right away. I won't use this just yet. It doesn't really matter what type of pomade you use. I just like something dry that the clippers can cut through easy, and that's pretty much it. There is a product out there called Crew Comb that a lot of barbers really like for doing flat tops. I think it's a fine product, but you're definitely going to need some type of product. We got to get this hair to stand up. Juan Cordova, is there any special flat top combs that are in use? That's that really, really big one that looks like a big pick. I don't like that one at all. I'm not a fan of that at all because maybe for the initial cut, like you put a giant comb in there and you cut this whole thing, maybe for the initial first trip through, it works okay. But there's going to be so many times where you're going to need something that you can be a little more precise with, and I actually really, really prefer this comb. So let me put a second camera view on us here. Maybe if I add the, let me see if I can add this one too. Put this up. I don't know if this is going to be any better. Oh, wrong one. Minus this one. Add this one. Okay. I don't know if this, yeah, this is kind of cool. You guys got a little bit of both. If I move this over a little bit, we're in pretty good shape, right? All right, I feel like everybody could see. How you doing in there, Steve? We good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I can't see no comments though.
Oh, you can't see the comments?
No.
Oh, I didn't know it was gonna work like that. Let me see if there's any other way. No. All right, man. If you want to just go back, I'll just try to pay attention to it.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
It's all good. I appreciate your
Well,
help
it
anyways.
was worth a go, wasn't it?
It was worth a try. Yeah, exactly. It's all good, man.
Yeah, it was worth a try.
I'll holler at you. All right.
All right, mate. Catch you in a...
Oh, sorry. I accidentally hung up on you, buddy. All right, so let's get this thing started. I'm going to rock and roll around the back and sides, and we're going to go and we're going to take this all the way down to a number one. I have the number one in the closed position. He said you need to set up a personal YouTube account so we can all have to pay you a certain $3 a month. No, I'm good. I don't need any money from you guys. All I ever ask you got to do, I'm going to keep it free forever, all right? Just keep it, man, this thing is running away on me. Hold up. I'm going to get this situated. Sorry. I don't want to have to charge you guys money to learn this. This is the coolest thing is you guys are supporting my sponsors. That in turn supports me, and it helps me make money and helps me get the channel going. So it's going to stay free, all right? All right, y'all. If you want to help me in any way, just hit that thumbs up. That's all I really, and share it and tell some people about me. Clipper is in the closed position. And when I come up the side of the head, you're going to see in camera angle 2. When I come up the side of the head, I'm just going to come up straight. So let's get this rough cut started. And I'm just coming up straight, staying anchored on the head. I'm glad that this clipper is kind of quiet. It's not that bad. And we're just going to come up straight. Now, when I'm standing here, it's like... But this clipper has some really messed up hair, so I really couldn't have made this any easier on myself at all. Uh-oh, getting it all over my keyboard. You guys know this is going to be a big mess tonight for me. I hope y'all are happy. Whenever I do these cuts, I really should be doing these somewhere else, in all honesty. But you know what? It's worth it, man. It's worth it to me to try to help you guys out. I'm just coming straight up, straight up. Nothing has to be perfect at this point. Keep that in mind. Nothing has to be perfect in this point. We just want to come straight up off the head and working my way around this side, doing the same thing, holding the clipper flat. And one thing that I see a lot of you guys doing is you guys leave the head too much. You guys do, I'm not saying you specifically, but a lot of people who make mistakes, they tend to do this. See how the mannequin's moving? That should never happen. The anchor should stay on there, and you're sort of just moving this nice like sled motion, this C motion, and you're just coming straight up off the head. Oh, I appreciate the $5. Woo! Let's hit that horn. shout out to Lindsay Dunsworth. Really appreciate you. Without you guys doing that, man, that really helps a lot. All right, so we're coming up the head, and we're moving it off. I know you can't really see, but the grain on this one is just sloping back this way, so I'm actually going to kind of do some of my cutting around the side on a slight angle. This mannequin is complete trash, and I would definitely recommend that you guys get a better one than I did. Any of you guys who's been following along since she had long hair, because we did all the long haircuts too. Any of you guys who've been following along this whole time, you know I've been unhappy with this mannequin from the beginning. All right, this is definitely not how I would hold my clipper ever. I'm only doing this because I literally can't stand over there. I have a desk in my way. So I'm just trying to get all this hair at the bottom off, and we're good, man. We got the rough draft that we want to get, and let's decide how much we want to take off. All right, I am going to put some product in, but I'm going to wait a minute before I put the product in because I want to just get rid of some of this bulk because I know – look how long this hair is. Like, he's not going to have a flat top like Will Smith in the 80s. We're going to take this down. I'm gonna say about right there. So those of you guys looking at this second camera view, it's actually pretty good. You can kind of see exactly what I'm going for. I'm going to take them down like fairly short. Let's see what this does. So if you notice, look at the other camera view. I'm using my pinky too. My pinky is sort of bracing him along the side. I want you guys to see this because this really helps steady me. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make some cuts. You'll be able to see it probably a little better once I get some of this hair out of my way. So on the back side of a flat top, you're actually going to round it off just the same way that you would in any other clipper cut. So if you see the way I just did that, I just traveled up the back and I just blended that in real easy. So that's just your normal clipper over comb. And that's what's so great about this practice. We can just knock that all off, get that nice and smooth, and we're going to move forward into the front. All right? So here we go. We're moving into the front. I'm using my pinky, and I'm sort of just guiding it forward, lifting that hair up, letting it stand up, and I'm cutting it. Now, some of this hair from the very front is super long, but I'm basically just trying to take a trip down the middle. I don't really care about working my way out to the sides just yet. Not important to me. I just wanted to get rid of some of that hair. So now I basically have created my guideline in the middle. All right. So I'm going to lift up from my guideline and begin working this out towards one side, towards one side, towards one side. And using my pinky to help keep it square, help keep it flat. Moving off this side, help keep it square, keep it flat. And as long as you are careful when you come in to touch this comb, you're going to be in pretty good shape. You definitely don't want to be banging this comb or making any mistakes like that, because if I come traveling into this comb too hard, definitely going to cause an issue. Just take your time, let it travel along the comb nice and smooth, nice and easy, and you're going to get it. You're going to start to get it. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hold it just flat on the sides. I'm going to begin shaping the flat top by just holding it flat along the sides. And basically what I'm trying to do right now, this is sort of like, think of this as like almost like a rough draft. I don't actually have the hair all standing up just yet either. I'm just getting this in a like a rough draft position. All right? So because I'm going to put some product in here in a second. I'm going to get it to stand up, and I'm going to get it to cut perfect. All right? So far all my cutting has been this way, working my way out towards the edges. And you can see I still have some long hair in the edges. That's fine. Not worried about that. I'm now going to actually pick it up this way. I'm going to actually have to stand on this side, see if you guys can kind of see it. On this side, I'm anchoring my pinky here. Let me see if I can kind of keep my hand out of the way a little bit. And I'm going to cut. So I'm just using that same guide that I took from the middle, lifting that hair up, and I'm going to cut. And these things are sort of like so shapeable too. Like this might, it might look pretty easy to you. And when you go to try it, you might struggle a little bit. But the truth is, like, you can kind of just cut this to shape. Like, every so often, just kind of stand back, look at it, see what more it needs, and just go in there and even it out and just get it to lay just right. If you are looking at it and it looks messed up, it probably is. So go into the spots that you think are not right and start to straighten them out. I'm going to show you how to properly check it. Any questions you guys want to ask, please fire away. An 8 guard, sure. I've actually done a flat top. I do a flat top regularly with like a 3 on top. Many times I do that like that too. An 8 on top would certainly work. It would remove some of that bulk, and you could actually probably get a result fairly similar to this. So that's a pretty good question. You can actually do flat tops all the way down to like a horseshoe flat top. That's like that extreme, like military kind of flat top where you'll see it's actually bald in the center, and it just kind of lips up like a landing strip or like a ramp or something. Okay, so now I've pretty much whipped it. I've whipped it into some type of shape that I like. We're going to talk about a couple different techniques here to use in just a second. I could use this freehand clipper cutting technique where I'm just gliding this over the top, but this is not actually going to do much for me because at this point, if I don't get this hair to stand up correctly, I'm going to have problems. It's not going to work, okay? Got the Gamma Alpha clippers today. Good, Ray. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. What's up, mama? All right, so the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to throw a little product in here. This is not a product I'm familiar with. I'm pretty certain it's going to work, but this probably wouldn't have been my first choice. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to break it up in my hands, and I now want to try my best to get this hair to sort of stand up. So that means that I'm going to push in like against the grain. Now, this hair is in no way, shape, or form like real hair, so it's not really going to do what I want it to do. I would certainly need a blow dryer, and in this case, if I was to blow dry this hair, I would try to blow dry it from the back to the front to just get some of these messed up areas to stand up. So now you can see how messed up it truly is. Like, it was looking pretty flat, right? And now that I've lifted it up and got some product in there, let's see if I put a little bit more if it'll work. This product is definitely not standing it up as well as I kind of hoped it would. But let's see if I put a little bit more, maybe if that helps. In any event, it'll get me close enough where I'm a little better off than I was. Sort of wish I had a towel. Let's see. Do I got one? Nope. All right. So anyways, I got this to stand up a little bit better. It's not great, I'll admit, but it's still a little bit better than it was. We're going to rock and roll through. And I appreciate you using my code, man. I see that. Thank you so much. All right. So let's start to shape this up. Now I could see I got some long hair kind of sticking out here. It's in no way, shape, or form flat up here, which is all good. So now I'm just going to travel through kind of my same steps. Coming up through the middle, and I'm going to work it right on through. Now we're going to get it perfect. So coming up, just concentrate in the middle. Don't work your way out to the edges until your middle is starting to look pretty good. And using your mirror is just so critical for this flat top. You figure you would be normally about 4 feet away from your mirror, and that would give you something like 8 feet of perspective. So with that being said, you'll give yourself that room. I don't have that luxury, like I said. So I got this front. It's laying all sorts of weird. So I'm going to try to lift this up and see if we can't get this thing to lay a little bit better. Now, the front of flat tops can often be real tough because a lot of people have a colic right in the front of their hair. And there is definitely clients who want to wear this haircut that really shouldn't. But that's the case with every haircut. You know, how many times have you seen a client with a haircut that they shouldn't be wearing? But that's just the way it is. So one of the ways that you can get this front to look a little bit better with them is to kind of over-direct it. So if you look at my camera angle over here on the right side, if I push this forward and kind of over-direct it a little bit, a lot of times that'll help me to even up that front part. All right, so let's go on to the side now. I'm going to show you guys some tricks that I use that really help me to get it straight. All right, so once I get this fairly straight again for a second time, I'm going to show you guys a couple tricks. Like, you want to angle this thing so many different ways. It really is one of the keys to getting these nice and even. So I'm going to angle this a few different ways, and I'm going to start looking for mistakes. I'm paying attention to your comments, kind of. He said, "Is anyone in the Army use calibers?" Not no more, man. We all moved on to Gamma. We moved on. Nothing against Caliber. They're a pretty good product, but I just feel like Gamma's really pulling forward. But I feel like Gamma's pulling forward in more ways than just against Caliber. Like, I don't even feel like Caliber's competition for them anymore. I think even Wall and Babyliss are starting to take notice of everything Gamma's doing. I mean, figure they've not really been on the scene all that long, and look at all the noise they've made. I love it, you know? All right, so let's see if we can't get this corner down a little bit better, because I feel like it's still one of those little spots that's not great. So some freehand clipper cutting. If you do this, if your hands are really like a little unsteady, if you hold it like this when you do your freehand clipper cutting, you're going to find it probably a little bit easier. Now, typically, if I was doing this, this is not how I'd be standing. I would just turn my mannequin this way, and this would be a much easier way for me to reach the front. And I wouldn't be working around a desk. And come to think of it, I'd be getting paid a little better, too. Because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to make anything off this guy or this girl. But I mean, she had a long head of hair when we started, and if anybody wants to see the way that we taught about how to cut to get it down, I did the blunt cut, I did the long layer, then we did the 90, and so now you can see it's starting to straighten up pretty good. We're getting it there. There's a couple little spots here that still need some work, but this is kind of when your flat top game can go to the next level. And I'm going to show you just how to do that in a second here. Once I got it like as close as I feel like it's pretty good, and I'm feeling like I'm not seeing so many mistakes. All right. So once I got it to that place, that's when you're going to do this. I'll actually take the head, and this I do with real clients too. I'll take the head, I'll sort of tip it this way, and I'll sort of tip it this way, right? I'm sort of tipping it in a couple different ways, and I'm looking for mistakes. Now, I see it's kind of hard for you guys to see this. If I tip it this way, you can sort of see how this might not be perfect. Now, this mannequin, like I said, is not the greatest, and it's not really showing the greatest. But if I was to tip this forward, it'd be really easy for you to see it was maybe a little bit high on one side. In this case, it's not too bad. It's not too off. But in some cases, when you tip your client's head around, you're going to start to notice that there's mistakes, and you're going to be able to fix them real easy, because you really can't fix a mistake that you can't see. So moving it around is definitely going to help. I appreciate that, Uproar Warrior. Thank you so much, man. Bam, hit the horn for you. All right, so would you ever do a flat top with your 7-inch shears? No, I would definitely not. Do you prefer the fade blade more than the taper blade for the alpha? Yeah, I don't have any problem with the fade blade. I don't believe I've ever used a taper blade for that. Is it possible doing a flat top without the comb? If so, what is the level of difficulty in doing it without the comb? This is a great question. Actually, it's definitely possible to do a flat top to some degree without the comb, but you're definitely going to struggle if you don't use a comb. And I don't really understand why you would, but definitely this is a technique I'll use too. Is like I'll take my finger and I'll sort of put it underneath, just like it's like a guard, and I'm riding my fingers alongside of the scalp, and that's just helping me to eliminate those hairs, keeping the distance that I want to keep, and making it happen. All right. So as you can see, it's actually looking pretty flat. Not too bad. Got a little weird growth pattern here in the front, but let's see if we can't put a little more product in to get it to lay nice, and we'll sort of make our final adjustments, and then I'll get this giant amount of stuff out of my way, and we'll see if we did a pretty decent flat top or not in this step. So now I'm just trying to see if there's any more mistakes, if there's anything I could fix, and even it all up. Trying to see here. It's kind of hard for me to keep up on these. All right. So let me spin you this way. Bam. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. I definitely, like, if this was a person and this was a colic and this very front piece was giving me some trouble, I would probably not cut into it. I would just use a product to fix that, because if you cut this too short in the front, it could wind up looking funny. So I would probably try to avoid that. Now, after I've done all my looking and I'm just checking everywhere and I'm just looking for mistakes, once I feel like I got this thing pretty dang flat, I'm just going to do this last little once over, and I'm going to just make sure that I got my sides flat. Let's talk about a mistake that you might have made too, because this has happened to me plenty of times over the years where I was doing a flat top and maybe it got a little round and I wanted it to get flatter or something like that. If that was the case, I could try to bring the middle down. If you can bring the middle down maybe a little bit lower. In that case, so I would just push this middle down. I'm gonna do it now because why not? I got extra mannequin. I'm just gonna throw this one out anyway. So I could just try to push this middle down and repeat my steps and work my way out. And one of the other things you might be able to do is you might be able to take more hair off of the sides, and you might be able to make it look a little bit more square by that. Let's see what your comments here. That's my setup now too. All right. So, yeah, I would try to push this middle down a little bit. If your client was like, "Hey, can you keep it real square?" Usually that's actually fairly easy to do, but there's clients who wear this haircut that probably really shouldn't. And I really don't want any more little hairs flying around here, so I'm actually going to stop cutting on the sides. But as you guys could see, what do you guys think about this flat top? I feel like it's looking pretty flat. It's looking pretty good. Given the circumstances, this hair is obviously not the best. It's not real hair. It's not a real mannequin, but it is a real flat top. So let's see here. Set that back over there. Let's get some questions going whilst I get rid of this amount of stuff that's in this room, which will be great because I would love to just sit down. Been going at it all day, all night, feels like. But what do we think here as far as like how we're holding the clipper, how we're attacking the flat top? Just a couple key takeaways were, number one, make sure that you're lifting up against the grain. Okay, so if your client's hair grows back, if your client's hair grows straight back, then we're lifting it up going this way. If your client's hair is like mine and it grows forward, then we're going to lift it up and we're going to work our ways back going that way. That's a super big key. That'll help you get your flat top started at least. And this is so nice that I put down this so I don't have to clean too much. It'll be a lot of cleaning up over here, but not too bad everywhere else. All right. So I'm going to get rid of this other camera view, and let's hear it. If you guys got some questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. The different types of hairs. Hard to do a flat top. Try to do a flat top on my brother's hair. It's really thin. It just sits down. And that's when you're going to want to take a little bit of gel. Take a little bit of gel, put it in his hair before you do the blow dry while it's wet, and blow dry it against the grain and get it to stand up. That's really one of the biggest keys to the flat top. Is like if the hair is all standing up, all you got to do is cut it to get it to stay flat. But if you don't get your hair to stand up, then there's going to be certain hair that's long, some hair that's short, and that's definitely going to make it more difficult than it should be. So make sure that you get that hair to stand up, and I'm sure you'll be able to put a decent flat top on him. Have I used the Panasonics? No, I haven't used no Panasonics. Actually, the lady at the booth, you guys will laugh at this, they told me to go get a bigger following. Years ago, I tried to give them constructive criticism when I seen the Panasonics at the booth. There was this was the original, like one of the first models, and I tried to give them some constructive criticism. I'm like, look, you know, if you guys did this, this, and this, it would certainly make me consider it, but I wouldn't even consider using those clippers without it. And they told me, take a hike. They told me to go get a bigger following. And once I got a bigger following, then maybe they would give me a pair. But it really wasn't even one that I was remotely interested in. So what if the crown area is all cut off and I'm cutting the hair as a new client? It doesn't matter if the crown, a lot of flat tops are super short in the crown and they get gradually longer towards the front. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do the exact same steps. You can do the exact same steps and you're not going to have any trouble there. Actually, sometimes it makes you be able to sort of skip the fade in the back. Like I have a client that I cut in the mornings on Saturdays. His name's Floyd, comes every Saturday. And he has no hair in the top of his crown, but he's got hair that grows on the side. So what I actually do is I give him a skin fade right into his crown. So there is no blend in the back. The only blend that takes place is a little bit on the sides. And that sort of makes it easier, and it actually makes it look a little better. It makes it look like a little more intentional. But he holds the flat top part of it holds up pretty good, and he's been wearing it since Vietnam. So he's definitely still wearing it. So yeah, if you guys want to go ahead, you guys can send a few photos over if you'd like, and I'll check them out. You know how to do it. We got this masterprimetime@gmail right here. And also, if you're new or you are not sure what's going on, we are in the middle of doing a talent contest. Has nothing to do with barbering. Prizes are going to be pretty big. We're going to have some fun. If you guys want, you got until next Saturday to submit your 30-second to 3-minute video. And if you guys submit that 30-second to 3-minute video, you'll be entered for a chance to win. You're going to get a clipper, a trimmer, and an electric shaver. That's first prize. Second prize, we're not sure. Anta Barber's going to be handling second prize, but it's going to be good as well. And that's what we're doing. So feel free to send it over, and it don't have nothing to do with barbering. So don't send me your promo shop videos. Don't send me none of that. I just want to see something cool that you do or a talent that you possess that goes beyond barbering. So if anybody has any questions that they'd like to ask me live, I'm going to drop this link on in here. You guys can come in the show. One of you guys come in the show. If you got any questions about the flat top, if you guys want to put the kibosh on this, how did I do explaining it? What would you guys say? Would you give me a 1 through 10? Did I explain it well? What do you guys think about all that? So I'm going to check out my mailbox, see if we got any cuts to critique. Bam. It looks like we don't have any cut critiques. So that's cool. We got some video submissions, though. So that's cool. As soon as I close this live off, I will be doing that. Okay, we got Giovanni. Giovanni sent a couple cuts over. Let's talk about them. All right, let's see here. I'll start with this photo here. And I got a much larger view of it. But I got to say, this blend is pretty clean. This blend is pretty clean. If I was to nitpick, I would just say, obviously, there's a little bit of a line over the back part of his ear, just above his occipital bone there. And if you guys are careful in this area, you won't create this line, but it looks like you could have easily probably fixed this with a little bit of trimmer, with just returning to your trimmer for a second and just sort of flicking out. That would have definitely helped on that side. Let's check out this side. Okay, we got this side here. This side's looking better. I don't see that issue in this side. And Giovanni, there's the back side here. This is where we'll have something more tangible to criticize. I'll get rid of this back one. Okay, so in the crown area, I'm not really going to say you did a bad job or anything like that, because this all looks really nice in the crown. It's just towards the top. This is a little... Okay, we got kicked off for a second, but we're back. We're back in business. And it looks like we got a guest in here too. All right, let's let my man in here. We got how we doing, man?
What's good?
Mario, welcome to the show, man. Thank you for coming in.
All right.
All right, man. They can hear you, dude. So what's up? How do I do with the flat top? We feel like we're getting it. Anything that you're struggling with, lay it on me.
Now I'm a student right now, and I'm just I like following you. You do good work.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Everything you do is good.
Great, man. Have you done many flat tops yet?
No,
No.
no, not yet.
So how far along are you, and where are you from?
I'm from Texas, Corpus, and I'm already halfway. I got 500 hours.
Good for you, man. You're almost there.
Yeah.
That's great, man. So are you going to any shops or anything yet? Kind of like doing any learning that way?
No, not yet. Just at home and there at school.
I'll tell you, dude, don't be afraid to be a little aggressive and just go to one of like the busier shops. Find some of the more talented people around you and just be like, "Hey man, I'll sweep the floor, whatever y'all need. I'll run and get food for you guys, whatever. I just want to be here. I just want to learn." And when you go in there with that approach, dude, you're going to get good and you're going to get good fast. And you know what happens when you get good? Start making that money, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Already. Yeah, I hear you.
So don't be afraid to go up in one of the shops. I've actually had a few people do that with me where they were just, going to school in the area. They came in. They were like, "Hey, man, whatever I can do to help out around here, can I hang out? Can I watch you for a couple days?" And that was actually I got a guy who's been doing it now for a couple months, and he's awesome, man. He's done a lot of good for the shop, good for everybody, and he's learned as well. So, don't be afraid to go around and find those people. And is there people in the barber school who are maybe more advanced than you or whatever?
Yes.
And
Yes.
don't be afraid to go to those guys too, because you know what? It might be hard to humble yourself here and there in the beginning of the process, but you know what? 10 years from now, you ain't going to remember this.
Yeah.
None of this will matter. 10 years from now, everybody's going to be where they're going to be. And those who are approaching it with the open mind and, taking criticism well and just trying to go that extra mile, man, they're going to figure it out.
Already.
All right, Mario,
Trying
man.
I was trying to get online. That way I was going to send you some photos of my work.
Oh, did you send one?
No, is there an email that I can send it to?
Yeah, it's right here. It's masterprimetime@gmail. If you want to go ahead and send one, and I'll critique it I'll critique it for you right here live.
Already. All right.
All right, Mario, man. Thank you
All
for
right, you
jumping
take
in the
care.
show, man. Send one over, and I'll check it out. All right, buddy. See ya.
All right.
All right, guys. That was Mario. That's cool. New barber coming in. Oh, I got no thumbs down all night. He's right. That never happens. He said, Timothy DeFazio says, "I got humbled recently when somebody said something negative about a cut I did. It hurt a bit. It made me want to do it to try even better next time." And that's how you got to be, because, look, this is a practice. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody fails at this, and there's not a single person who is born knowing how to cut hair. I'm sorry. It's just not something that happens. So everybody has to learn this. But the good news in that is everybody can learn this. This is not something that's impossible to learn. Everybody can learn this. So, just keep grinding, man. That's all it is. It's not like every single haircut everybody does is fire. So let's see here. I can't go in there and download those ones that were sent by Daniel. So I'm sorry. If you want to just send one over, just a regular cut in an email, feel free. This one's from Austin. And Austin, mid fade. He wrote, "Mid fade, didn't take a picture of the C cup or the lineup." Oh, and you guys want to see the before. Let's show the before. Okay. So I'm trying to see, what has this guy got in his head? Oh, it's a clip. It's a hair clip. I'm like, he's got a mouse living in there. But no, all right. So he's got a big head of hair. Oops, I accidentally deleted the one that I didn't mean to. He's got a good head of hair. This kid's got some really nice hair that will blend well. And this is a very steep fade. I don't know if you were going for this intentionally, but this is a pretty difficult look to pull off. This is a really really nice. I could see that you have texturizing shears. I can see that you thinned it out some, and you got it to look smooth. And I already know what type of hair this is. So for people who might be looking at this and say, oh, hey, it's a little lighter towards the back or whatever, I am not going to be the one to criticize you here, because I can tell this client's got difficult hair to fade, and he's got varying degrees of density, which is the amount of hair per square inch, which is probably why you have some of these light spots in here. And the only thing that probably make this one a little bit better would be if you were to add some enhancements to it to kind of fill in some of those spots. But overall, based on what I can see here, this is an excellent cut, and I think you did a nice job. That was from Austin. Nigel. Okay, Nigel. Cool. I got this one here. Let's put that one here. And this one's got some stuff to talk about. Okay, so Nigel, I'm going to blow this one up on my computer so I could see it a little bigger. I don't know what's with the perspective of this photo, but either your hand's real big or his head's real small. But I just feel like something's not adding up here. I can see that your blend definitely needs a little bit more work, and it looks to me like you may have gotten off track and not finished it, or you may have done almost like a down fade where you came in underneath and you were a little bit afraid to get into beef with that line. Don't be afraid to go up in there and straighten that out. It looks to me like probably a one open, one closed would have knocked that out. And I can also tell this client's got some pretty hard hair to fade. It probably would have popped a little bit more had you went a little shorter towards the bottom of that blend. So, and then also in the bang area, this is a common mistake that I see a lot of people make. If you look towards the very front, top right side of his bangs, I could tell that a lot of that hair in the very front was left a little bit longer, which is fine. It's okay when clients want to do that. Remember that part about over-directing that I talked about, where we will lift this up and over-direct it into the interior length to the exterior length. So exterior length. Comb all that hair down, cut it however that client wants. Okay? When you lift it up, that's going to be your ending length. Now you take that piece from the interior, right? Let's say it's a little bit shorter. Well, you're simply going to blend that short interior length into that top length. So you'll do that by lifting up sections around the front of the head like this. And that's going to help this to blend a little bit better towards the front. That'll definitely help you out a little bit. Hope that helps. All right, so what do we got here? We got Christopher, and we got, oh man, he got himself a head of hair over here. Okay, so let's take it from the top. He gave me some cuts throughout the process, some shots throughout the process here. So let's start with this. This guy's got a head of hair. All right, this is gonna be real difficult to get this to lay down if you don't do this the right way. So we begin here. This is kind of the first picture. Second picture here. Okay, we're coming in, and we got the back all lined up. That's good. I like where we're going with this. Looks like we got him skinned down, all the way down. And let's see here. Let's move to this picture here. Now, this is after the blend. So let's, perfect. I got this one a little bit bigger on my computer here. I'm going to pull this up for you. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. I'm getting organized here. I want to make sure we're all looking at the same one. Let's start with the back of this blend, I guess, because, bam. I can't really make it any bigger for you guys, I don't think. I'll try. Nope. Okay, so that's as big as it gets. All right, the back, I don't really mind the blend so much. It's probably just the photo that makes that look like a dark spot on the left. So I wouldn't say there's a whole lot to critique here. Overall, it's fairly smooth. So let's move out to the side, because I think on the side we have a small area that we can talk about that might be able to make an improvement here. So let's go to the side. Overall, this is a pretty clean blend. I mean, this is not going to be a super easy haircut to do, but this is actually a pretty clean blend. So I'm gonna give you a pretty solid grade here on this one. But in the very top part around the ear and around this area, don't be afraid to come and make a couple passes with the grain. A lot of times on this type of hair, any type of curly hair, tight curly hair, I like to make a couple passes with the grain just to see if I can get that to lay down a little bit better, because I could tell that his hair is going to kind of almost stick out a little bit. And if you just come down with the grain with the number one, I bet you that probably would have wiped out some of this. So one against the grain, one with the grain, and kind of messing around in there. You could just smooth that transition out a little bit. But hey, overall, I know that this is not an easy haircut to do, and I think you did a good job. All right, Daniel's going to be my last one here, because I'm getting exhausted, guys. I'm getting exhausted. All right, I lied. I'll do two more. I'll do two more. All right, so bam. We got, this is kind of cool, dude. I kind of like the swag you got going on here. All right, this is from Daniel. Daniel, I don't know anything about. He didn't leave a note, but he's doing some pretty good work here. That blend looks pretty dope. I'm not even gonna lie. I think that blend looks pretty dope. I like it. Only thing is, like, I would say, and this is just me nitpicking, like the line, the top line, I probably would have just made that straight. I don't know why that curve like makes me feel like it could maybe use a little bit of help there, but it doesn't necessarily need to be straight. It's just a personal preference. I think this cut is A1, and I'd definitely wear it, no doubt. Good job. Let's see what this is the same guy, Daniel. Let's grab one of his other ones. We'll grab this one here, 'cause this is a pretty difficult cut. Bam. Thank you for sharing it with me too. Let's see here. All right, so it looks like you really understand how to blend. I can tell by the way these cuts looked. It's really smooth in the skin. The transition area to the number one looks really good. I love it, dude. I was going to say maybe more shear over comb, but I'm not so sure shear over comb or texturizing shears or anything. I think this is pretty well done. This is a good cut. It's super long on top, and it's really hard to make that transition from like absolute skin into hair that long. So yeah, it can be really, really challenging, dude. So definitely giving you some credit there. All right, man. This is Levon. Levon, man, this fade looks good, dude. That fade is icy. Now, you know I'm going to complain about this beard a little bit, but the fade is really, really nice. Smooth blend. No trickery. Just good, solid blending and clipper work. So, good job to you, my friend. This cut looks great, but he got fix up the beard a little bit. I would blend in the beard or at least get rid of some of them little hairs around it. That's just a personal preference. Whenever I look at a photo that I'm going to critique, like if the beard takes my like eyes away from the good part of the cut, I'm always like, yo, just take that extra second to blend that beard in. This is one long, tall photo. I don't know why it comes out like this, but this is SD Hydro. Sent this one over, and it looks like you could have went all the way down the skin. And in the case of his hair, definitely looks like it's some tough hair to blend. Probably the half open, half closed, just around the parietal ridge would have gotten you there, would have gotten you perfect. But don't be afraid to take it all the way down to skin. I don't know if you have no electric shaver or anything like that, but if that's the case, you know, I don't know, but I'll tell you that's a pretty clean cut from what I could see of it. Alrighty, so that's about it for the cut critiques. Thank you guys for sending in your work. Actually, hold up, I got to do Christopher's real quick. I missed you, Christopher. So let's do you real quick. Bam. Okay, Christopher, where are you from, buddy? We got looks like we got a taper, and we got another. Oh, the other side here too. Cool, perfect. All right, I'm gonna put both of these sides up, and let's talk about this for a second. First and foremost, I'm not sure if his hair was like combed out all the way, but I certainly would comb his hair out probably a little bit more. I would come down with the grain, and I wouldn't be afraid to take that taper a little bit higher. I feel like what I'm looking at here is a shy taper, or a person who is being a little bit shy about it and not afraid to make a mistake, which is not a problem, because I'd much rather see a cut like this than a cut with a big mistake in it. So that's definitely a super plus to this one. So I would just say set your guidelines in even on both sides because it looks like it's a little bit higher on the left than it is on the right, and then go ahead and proceed with your attack. Stick to your steps. Don't be afraid to take some strokes down with the grain and make sure you comb out the hair. So that's pretty much my cut critique. And don't be afraid to chop his mop down a little bit. I mean, this young man here, I think his hair would look like fire if you took like a 1 with the grain everywhere else, and you did a nice taper. I think that looked pretty good. Maybe 1.5 with the grain everywhere else. Make it look like fire. So, all right, you guys. No more cut critiques. I'm done with that. This show is just about over, and I hope that it helped you to learn how to do the flat top and that type of thing. And let's see here. Oh, we got to do this too. Who's thinking Manchenko versus Lopez? What do we got? We got any predictions here? I'm thinking it's going to end like maybe the 6th round, Manchenko. That's just a guess. But if that happens, I wish that I had some money on it so that I could make some money. But out of all the funny things that happened last week, man, I just hope my Bills win against the Chiefs. If there's any Chiefs fans in here, good luck to you. I hope you guys do all right, but I hope that we somehow come from like behind and just bam, we just take y'all because we need this win, man. Let's face it, the Bills are not going to be taken serious if we go to another straight loss like that. They're going to say everybody else we beat was garbage. The only reason we got as far as we got is because those teams were weak. The Bills can't beat a good team. I don't want to hear it. I feel like the Bills are a good team. They're the real deal. And I want them to go down there, show Patrick Mahomes and them boys what's up, and show Le'Veon why he should have jumped on the Bills train when he could have. Because this train is about to leave the station, I hope. So, anyways, he said Lomachenko, 3rd round knockout? 3rd round? You guys really think he's going to kill him like that? I might have to put some bread on it. Yeah, I might have to. So, all right, you guys. I'm going to split, man. It's been an awesome show. I really appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate all the love and all the help. I hope that this video helps somebody out there to rock and roll. I could see that my YouTube camera video didn't go over too good. She only got like 400 views. 80,000 subscribers, you get 400 views. What is the world coming to? But the other thing that I wanted to start doing too is in my follow-up videos, I want to start reading some of the comments from some of the previous videos. So if you guys leave a comment in my videos going forward, I'm going to start some of my videos by reading those comments. So with that being said, feel free to drop a comment. Please get your talent show submission in if you haven't yet so you can win some of these dope prizes. We're going to go through all the talent entries next week. We're going to start breaking some of those down. I should be here with Ant the Barber. We're going to have a lot of fun that night. I appreciate those of you guys who joined the live. This is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'll catch you guys in my next live. All right, you guys. Peace.